Yo, what it do though? Jokesta Baby, you already know mine. Back again, once again, here we is, y'all. I know things have been crazy. It's been a long time since I've been here. Probably got a new dude, all that. I know, right? But I had to come back, y'all. So many things have just been going on, and I felt like it's just right for some controversial conversation. So I just want to say welcome back. If this is the first time you've ever sat in with us, it's going to be a bumpy ride. And if you're a returning veteran, shouts out. And it is Veterans Day, too, 11/11, shouts out. But regardless of all of that, man, there's a lot of things that I kind of really want to get into. But before that, so I took some time off. Again, I know. But I took some time off and I decided that I needed to figure out something different. I needed a new structure, a new segment. I don't know. I needed something different, right? And in the midst of all that, I was lucky enough to grace the floors and the streets and, well, it wasn't really the streets, but I was able to grace the floors of Fort Valley State University and give this speech on suicide prevention and suicide awareness. And if we're being all the way honest, it really did something for me because I wrote an audiobook, shameless plug, y'all go get the audiobook. I put the description down there. But I wrote this audiobook called What Are Your Four Quarters? And it was like, how do you change your mindset? How do you get out of your own way? How do you become the best version of you? And that's where I was struggling, trying to figure out that for myself. And what ended up happening was I figured out this thing called four quarters, right? And each quarter represents 25% of your life. And you can just combine those four quarters and get 100%, but you can use that methodology for anything, right? And I'm not going to get too deep into it because y'all can go catch the speech or whatnot. But I decided I needed to apply this four-quarter thing to just everything that I'm doing because it made so much sense. Branding is everything. And I'm learning that going through these social media marketing and social media management courses. But as I'm going through that, four quarters, and I'm like, wow, how do we apply that to controversial conversation? Is there really a four quarters to it? And I was like, yeah, there is. There is. Aside from the fact that we've always had a four quarters in there, and you can go back and check every video going back to, I think, episode 2. So the very, 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 very beginning, we consistently kept the four quarters. But what were the four quarters of controversial conversation? And I started realizing we do a lot of social commentary when we talk about the things that are kind of like going on in society, right? And we talk a lot about politics, why Democrats are trash, why Republicans suck, right? We get a lot of that going. But we also talk about the culture. And by the culture, I mean us, what we represent, the things that are important to us as a people. And y'all get that. And then the last thing is mental health, keeping this thing right here ticking and making sure that you are just moving at an optimal level. You know what I'm saying? And those are the four quarters of controversial conversation. And while we're still working out the kinks, we do want to kind of start talking more so about those things more prevalently. So we haven't really figured out everything, but I'm like, yo, let's hop back on it. So this first quarter is really just an introduction. We jumping back into it. You know what I'm saying? MJ putting the 45 jersey back on. You know what I'm talking about? Getting ready to, to hoop it up. But on some real shit, I want to talk about something that I thought was really, really cool since I'm speaking about media and stuff like that. I don't know if you've heard, but Byron Allen actually was able to strike a deal with, I believe, CBS, and he's able now to get HBCU sports shown regionally and nationally in all of the big markets, and that's really, really dope. We talk a lot about what Deion Sanders is doing, prime time, you know what I'm talking about, and shouts out because he does a lot, and I'm really, really grateful that he's, invigorated a little bit more of a HBCU, enthusiasm into me. I don't know what he's done for everybody else, but for me, I'm like, it's dope. I like watching it. I had a cousin, go to Jackson State, and I'm really, really, intrigued for the next 10 years? I want to see, do some of these top recruits and stuff like that, do they start inching towards HBCUs? And, do they become a lot more competitive? Do they start getting a shot? Who knows? But right now, I think it's really dope. And with Byron Allen giving us a chance to actually watch these games at a lot more, frequently, it's really, really dope. So I want to keep an eye on that. I want y'all to keep an eye on that. And if there's some games that you guys think would be really, really dope to be like on a, like a ESPN 7 o'clock Saturday night, what kind of game do you think that would be if it was two HBCUs? Let me know in the comments. But I guess moving from media, but staying in that realm, something that I obviously haven't spoken about because I haven't been around for a little while, but all right, I grew up loving Kanye West as a youngin'. You know what I'm talking about? I thought that the dude was really, really brilliant. The music was so dope. The way that he spoke out on certain things, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Those kind of things resonated with me. And I thought that he was an amazing dude. Fast forward, and he goes through a whole bunch of different eras and a whole bunch of different, ideologies, a whole bunch of different mentality changes and all of that. And now we have Ye, the person that he is now. And there's nothing against the person that he is now. And this isn't about who he is now. This is about the fact that he kind of self-imploded and we watched it. Nobody decided, hey, we could try to get him some help. We all kind of felt like, it is what it is. And that's sad because mental health is something that I take very, very seriously. And while, I hate to say this, he may be too narcissistic to even accept help if given to him, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't seriously, evaluate what's going on and what was going on. And he said a lot of different things. And one thing that I want to say about that is you can't say Kanye or Ye, however he wants to be called, you can't say he's either right or he's wrong, right? Because there is context. Context has to be added to the equation to understand everything in totality. So I'm going to go from Kanye to another individual right now, and that's Kyrie. And that's the one that I really want to speak about because right now they're really putting that brother through the ringer. And I don't think a lot of y'all are going to like how I'm about to say what I'm about to say. But the truth of the matter is I am supporting Kyrie in this instance. Now, understand what I'm saying. One, I am not condoning or co-signing what Kyrie believes in or what Kyrie is saying. I am, however, allowing him to have that free speech platform to acknowledge, because that's all he did. He just acknowledged something and shared it. And then he said a couple other things about how he might agree with certain parts or whatever. But regardless of that, I don't think that he should have to go through 6 different hurdles. Oops, my bad, y'all. 6 different hurdles just to get back to playing. I think that's ridiculous because to me, when Sam Harris and all of those right-wing commentators were pushing the bell curve, which is scientific racism, which has been debunked by the scientific community, by the psychological community, by pretty much everybody with a logical, rational thinking mind, it's like, we know that that's racist, but they were never asked to go sit in front of the NAACP. They were never asked to give money to the Negro college funds. They were never asked to do anything other than continue moving on with their platform. But Kyrie, he has to, go above and beyond. And I think that is ridiculous. And the bigger issue right now, the biggest issue that I truly see is not Kanye. It is not Kyrie. What it is this ever-changing definition of what anti-Semitism is. That is the biggest problem. It really went from, if you're criticizing Jews with stereotypical tropes or whatnot, you're being anti-Semitic, and yeah, that's a problem. But now it seems like if you allure or allude to anything that is not, status quo, with what the Jewish community feels like they are comfortable hearing, then everything is anti-Semitism. So a question that I have is, how come every time African Americans or Africans or black people try to create some type of historical document or some type of historical documentary or whatever it is, and they claim that they take science and data and use all of those things and put it together, how come every time that happens, critical race theory, it's always an issue? It's always racist when black people are talking about racism and or talking about other things. Now, to say that the Holocaust is a hoax, that's wrong. I don't agree with it. I don't agree probably with most of what is in this actual video. It's fine. I don't have to agree with it. But I don't agree with everything Alice Jones says. I don't agree with everything Ben Shapiro says. I don't agree with the fact that Tucker Carlson is a literal white supremacist who has a platform talking to middle America, inciting fear and just nonsense every night. But he doesn't ever have to apologize for any of that shit. So I don't understand why Kyrie has to go through so many different things other than the fact that every time it is a black person speaking out, it's more of a problem because they should have known their place. And it feels like they're trying to put Kyrie in his place. I just don't agree with that. And if you don't like that I don't agree with that, I don't really give a damn, to be honest with you, because I don't have to agree with Kyrie when he says the earth is flat, because it's not. I don't have to agree with Kyrie when he goes on these deep conspiracy theories, because I don't agree with a lot of that. Pretty much all of it. Everything that I've heard from Kyrie, I pretty much have said, I doubt that's true. But do I think he should not have the ability to say that? Nope. Do I think he should not be able to play ball? Nope. Do I think that he should be able to do both? Yep. And I don't understand why it's always an issue when the black person does something. Last example I'll give you is one that I guess is a little monumental, and it should really bring it into the picture. So we had an individual who a lot of people said I used to look like when I had the fro, you know what I'm talking about? Right, Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? They were like, yo, this guy Kaepernick, he is a problem. He is so unpatriotic, this, that, and the other. Yet all he was saying was America has these ideals it can live up to, and right now it is not. And we need to get back to potentially trying to live up to those ideals. That sounds beautiful, right? That actually sounds like what a lot of people believe. Right, but then they called him an unpatriotic son of a bitch, this, that, and the other. But then we had this, you know what I'm saying, orange Cheeto, dick-headed looking person who was on a campaign trail talking about America sucks. China's killing us, this, that, and the other. And y'all praised him because you identified with him, because he spoke to the BS in a way that you were able to digest, even though the message was coming from the black person, half black, whatever you want to call him, and he was saying the exact same thing. So it's like you always have this contradictory notion of it's patriotic when the white people do things, or it's okay when white people do things, but when the black person does it, it's like wrong. And I don't understand that. Or maybe I'm just looking at it too deep. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But speaking of patriotic, real quick, let's get to the third quarter, and that is the election. And y'all, real quick, man, I don't want to talk too much about the election federally, except for the fact that very, very interesting how in certain spots where like abortion was like crazy about to get knocked the fuck off the, no more abortion type stuff. In those situations, Democrats won. But where abortion and democracy wasn't about to be, taken apart or whatnot, Democrats didn't win. So it's a very, very interesting thing. Moving next 2 years, what are the messages going to be? Because it looked like tearing apart democracy really works for Democrats because Republicans are actually tearing apart democracy. But if you're going to continue using the same things that you're doing, that might not work for y'all. But what I do want to talk about, since I said not federally, actual state, let's talk about GA, the place that I reside. And good God, when they say red clay, they mean red clay. Because holy shit, bruh. Democrats, y'all ain't do good. Y'all ain't do that good. Even the one that we thought was like a home run out the park. You know what I'm saying? We thought we was finna be running to the victory, ended up getting caught by a walker. Y'all, we got caught by a damn walker. How in the hell? Oh my, bruh. Yeah, I'm still reeling from that one. I'm like, this blows my mind. How in the hell? And I get it. When we were watching the Warnock and Walker debate, it didn't really look like Warnock had a strong showing. And we could see that a lot of people really just didn't like Warnock. And there was a lot more Walker signs coming up. But the very, very interesting thing about that race is that Walker didn't win. Not because he was projected to, but because of how bad Kemp ended up winning. Now, if Republicans voted down ballot, then Herschel would have won without a doubt. But that tells you that Brian Kemp, who is not a Trump stop the steal type election or type of candidate, who was actually level-headed, who did a whole bunch of different things that didn't rock the boat, and when Trump came and tried to steal it, he said no. He didn't rock a lot of the... He didn't, dissuade, I would say, a lot of those middle-of-the-road voters. And that's why a lot of those people either didn't vote when it came to the Senate race, or they ended up voting for Walker. Now, I'm willing to bet a lot more just didn't vote, but it's very interesting that Republican here ends up very much winning without even a question in the Kemp and Stacey Abrams one. But when it came to Walker and Warnock, there's a runoff. That is very, very interesting. And what's going to be even more interesting is it going to be a lot more Democrats that come out to vote now that they know potentially that this moron has a chance of winning? Bruh, how, what the fuck? Y'all, come on. I'm just saying. Like, I don't even know if this is a true story real quick, but me and my homeboy, D-Wise, right? One day, we were just chilling. We used to throw the football all the time and stuff like that. We were talking about Herschel Walker. And he said, yo, you know what my daddy told me about Herschel Walker? He said he's so dumb that they asked him how many times is he going to get to carry the ball. And he said, I don't know. It ain't that heavy. So as many times as they give it to me. Like, bruh. If y'all understand football, you really understand the simplistic mindset that this man has. And if you don't understand, it just means like he didn't even comprehend that they were just saying you're going to get 30, 40 carries. Because that's a statistic in football. Not how fucking heavy is the ball, which probably is maybe just a little bit lighter than your big dumbass head. Oh man. But here we are. So, ending the third quarter of elections, I need y'all to get very, very active if you are in Georgia. If you are in the GA, I need you to do two things. The first thing, get out, make sure you vote, and make sure you get people to stop voting for this dude who's an idiot and potentially vote for this dude who's not an idiot. And the other thing, y'all, we need to go sign that campaign so we can get Outcast put on Stone Mountain. Yes, that's it. 2 dope boys on a Cadillac need to get carved into Stone Mountain, y'all. Okay, all right, aside from that. Anyways, man, let me go ahead and flip the fourth quarter. And this is Friday, right? So it's Freeform Friday. And moving forward, what I'm going to be doing is either a spoken piece or some music, excuse me, or something like that, where I just hit like a free form flow and I just let it go. And the reason is because we are free forming it out now. We have gotten past, I guess, the fro revolutionary type mode, and now we are moving into the cultural icon. No, I'm just kidding. But on some real shit, it's really about feeling yourself. So just be free today. Free every Friday. Free every day. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Let your freak flag fly and be free. So, as always, you already know what it is. Jokesta Baby, controversial conversation. And I need y'all to do 2 things. I need y'all to be good. And I need y'all to be great. # Freeform Friday. Like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll be back.